So you learned what notes are. You can name them on a keyboard. Cool. Now here's the part that actually matters. Notes mean nothing by themselves. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. If I play a G right now, it's just a G. It doesn't feel like anything. It's not happy or sad or tense or resolved. It's just a frequency vibrating in the air. But the second I play another note with it, or before it, or after it, suddenly that G means something. This is called relativity, and it's the most important concept in music theory that nobody explains properly. What matters isn't what notes you're playing. What matters is the distances between them, the relationships. Here's what I mean. Take that G and put it next to a C. It feels one way. Take the same G and put it next to an E flat. Completely different feeling. Same note, same pitch, but the emotional quality changed entirely because the relationship changed. This is why you can take any song and play it in a different key and it still sounds like the same song. The actual notes changed, but the distances between them, the intervals, stayed the same. The relationships are what your brain is tracking, not the absolute pitches. So let's talk about intervals. An interval is just the distance between two notes. That's it. You can play them one after another, which is called melodic, or you can play them at the same time, which is called harmonic. But either way, you're measuring the gap. We name these gaps based on how many half steps apart they are. Remember half steps? Smallest possible distance on the keyboard. So a minor second is one half step, C to C sharp, or E to F, just one position away. A major second is two half steps, a whole step, C to D. Now, here's where it gets slightly annoying. We have these terms, perfect, major, minor, augmented, diminished. They sound intimidating, but they're just describing size. Minor means smaller. Major means larger. A minor third is 3 half steps. A major third is 4 half steps. Smaller third, larger third. Some intervals are called perfect, unison, fourth, fifth, octave. Don't worry about why they're called perfect yet. Just know that when you raise a perfect interval, it becomes augmented. When you lower it, it becomes diminished. That's all that means. Bigger, smaller. The important thing is that every interval has its own sound. A minor third feels different from a major third. A perfect fifth feels stable. You can hear this. You already know this, you just didn't have names for it before. And honestly, most of the academic stuff about augmented this and diminished that, you'll barely use. What you need to be able to do is hear two notes and go, that's a fifth, or that's a minor third. You need to be able to play an interval when someone asks for it. The rest is just vocabulary for talking about music. Practice this by picking random notes and naming the interval, or name an interval first and then find it on the keyboard. C to G, that's a fifth. E flat to G, also a fifth. Same distance, different starting point. This is the relativity thing again. The relationship is what matters. Now let's talk about keys, because this is where it all starts making sense. When someone says, I'm playing in the key of C, what they mean is there's a group of notes I'm using, and C is home. C is the center of gravity. All the other notes are orbiting around it, and they all want to resolve back to C. Play some notes in a scale, any scale, and stop before you get to the top. Your brain is sitting there going, finish it, go to the home note. That feeling, that pull toward resolution, that's the key center, that's the tonic. This is fundamental to how Western music works. One note is home, the rest are varying degrees of away from home. Some notes feel stable, some feel tense, but there's always this gravitational pull back to the tonic. You can train yourself to hear this. Listen to any song and pay attention to the ending note or chord. That restful feeling, that's the tonic. That's home. Once you start noticing it, you can't stop noticing it. It's like the song has been trying to get to that note the whole time. And here's the cool part. You can change which note is home. Same group of notes, different center of gravity, completely different feeling. C major and C minor both use C as the tonic, but the notes around it are different, so the emotional quality changes. The circle of fifths shows up on every music theory diagram ever made, and there's a lot of hype about it. Honestly, it's just an organization tool. Going clockwise, you move up by fifths, C to G to D. Going counterclockwise, you move up by fourths, C to F to B flat. We'll use it for practicing scales and chords, but it's not some magical key to understanding music. It's just organized. What actually matters is training your ear to hear intervals and to feel the tonic. That's the skill. Not memorizing which interval is called what, but hearing the difference. Not analyzing the circle of fifths, but feeling when a song has come home. So here's your practice. Play intervals and listen to how they feel. Play notes in a scale and stop before the top. Feel that pull toward resolution. Pick songs you know and find the tonic, that home note that feels at rest. The names are just vocabulary so you can talk to other musicians. The theory is just explaining what your ear already knows. Music makes sense because of relationships between notes, between intervals, between tension and resolution. Learn the vocabulary, but don't mistake it for the actual skill. The actual skill is hearing it.